Okay, January 23rd, 2025. My name is Patty Moore, and this video is about my Bell's palsy story. I have a story. It's a little hard to talk. So, here's the story. Last week, a week ago today, I went to the dentist, and I got a crown, temporary crown. They're supposed to finish it next week. And I just realized I'm really looking crooked. Alright, so I get that, no problem. Then, and it was no issue, other than I had to keep my mouth open for like an hour and a half, but it went fine. Like the dentist, the whole works. Then on Monday, today's Thursday, Monday, I wake up with an earache in my right ear, and I'm like, what the hell is this? This hurts. Didn't think much of it, took some ibuprofen. And then Monday afternoon, I think it was, late Monday, no, Monday night I think it was, I noticed my mouth was getting kind of numb. And like as if I had Novocaine in it. So, what do? You go to the Google and you type in all your symptoms. And it comes up TMJ. I'm thinking TMJ. They're thinking, yeah, maybe this is going on because you have you stretched some muscle or something, and now go see your dentist. So the next day, Tuesday, still going on. And I go to work. I'm a waitress, and I like my job, and I have fun there, and I make money. And so I go to work, and at work, everything's going fine, but I notice that the numbness is really weird, feeling worse. Oh, and when I woke up that morning, I called the dentist and made an appointment and told him what was going on because the Google told me to. So I go to the dentist appointment after work, and the dentist is all like, and he says, no, this isn't from the dental. You need to go to the ER. And I'm like, He was like, yeah, you got a droopy face. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? So he doesn't call an ambulance. It's like, obviously he thinks it's something else. So I get in the car and I drive to the ER. I stop for a nice coffee, of course. Dunkin' Donuts, decaf, caramel swirl, cream only. It's my drink. So I get to the ER, and I walk in there, and the place is a freaking madhouse. This is L&M. It's like a mile from my house. It's part of Yale. And I walk in there, and I swear to God, there's like 30 to 40 people, all with their winter coats, masks, and they're all soaking, and they're all huddled up in there, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I'll be here for hours. So I go in, I see the guy, I know the guy, it's, his wife is on my Facebook. Donovan, his last name is. So he comes, and I see him, and I start talking to him. I say, listen, my dentist sent me here. Said, something's going on, my face is droopy. And he's like, when did it stop being droopy? And I'm like, well, probably about an hour ago, he told me about it. So they bring me into the triage area, and the next thing you know, everybody's ringing bells and whistles, and I get moved to the front of the line because they think I might be having a stroke. Also because my words are slurring like this. But they're slurring because I got my tooth in, my fake tooth, and because my mouth is half numb over here, or what do you call it? Frozen. So whoosh, I whisk off into the emergency room in a wheelchair, and the emergency room is slamming. I'm telling you, there's like cops everywhere. I go by the first room, it looks like there might be a guy dying in there or dead, because we're all kind of standing around with the cops. And I'm going down the hallway, and there's like gurneys. I mean, all the walls are just loaded with beds. It's difficult to get through because there's so many people laying in the hallways on gurneys. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, what is this? I mean, I guess it's this whole flu thing, plus New London. And anyway, they get me, they hook me up, blah, 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 IVs, you know, they do the whole thing, slam, bam, you know, boom, boom. And whisk me off to get a CAT scan. CAT scan comes back. Oh, in the meantime, you know, they're doing all the tests, like, what's today's date, and what year is it, and, you know, where are you? But you know what they didn't ask me? They didn't ask me who the president was. And usually that's one of the questions when you're having a stroke, they say, who's the president? And it's they didn't ask that question, which I thought was interesting. It's probably been, like, causing too much controversy to even ask the question. So, yeah, it causes high blood pressure and some. So, anyway, the doctor's like, he's like, wait a minute now, you got an earache here, and you got pain and numbness here on your right, but your left side is moving. He says, I think you got two things going on. We know that half is Bell's palsy, but what is this? So I'm like, I don't know. He said, we like to admit you. But he says, we actually want to, this is how he put it. He says, we want to do an MRI, but in order to do an MRI, we need to admit you. And I'm like, hey, I got no place to go. I got nothing to do. And I have good insurance. So I'm thinking, all right, do it. So I then I got there about 4 o'clock. I got the MRI around midnight. But it was okay. I had a TV set and I was watching continuous versions of Law and Order SVU over and over and over. I like the show. So then what? So then they send me to a room. Okay. Anybody who's in a hospital knows you don't sleep in a hospital. They never leave you alone. It's the doctor, it's the nurse, the nurse assistant, the blood drawer, the registration, you know, everybody and their brother stops by and wakes you up and apologizes for waking you. Oh, sorry, wake you up. It's like, how do people get better in the hospital when you can't sleep? So anyway, that was going on, and they sent in a physical therapist, OT-PT, which I have a great affinity for them because they were so helpful with Mom. And they helped me. They do this whole swallow thing where, you know, teach you how to swallow again because it's all messed up with this numbness, or not what is it, this frozen or this paralyzed is the word side. It messes you up when you're trying to chew food and swallow, so they had to like test you that you're good to go. So I passed that test. Everything, all my test results are coming back good. All the numbers, because I can look it up on my chart, on mine. And everything's look beautiful, but I got this thing going on, and they don't know really what this thing is going on. So they think, so they're telling me, one of the doctors, she's called the hospitalist. She's a doctor that works at the hospital. And woman in her, probably in her middle 50s, white hair, side ponytail, dressed like she's got money. And I think she was telling me, she would smirk a lot while I would talk to her. I think she thought I was entertaining. And so she thinks this side is dental, like that TMJ thing, which is something, look it up. And then I read, but then of course I read everything about it. And apparently I'm on the road to recovery because what the right thing to do medically, when you take all the snake oil guys and move them away, steroids, and taking vitamin B12 is important apparently, and resting, whatever. Oh, and massage, that's the other thing, where you get to give yourself every day a couple of 10-minute facial massages. I watched videos on how to do that too. Anyway, I just wanted you to know that this happened, and I'm on the mend. Oh, and I got one funny story. So, of course, and when I get into the ER, Jen eventually, she came down about an hour after I was there. But when I get hooked up, they always assign, in the emergency room, they always assign you a nurse. So this really good-looking guy, 6'3", thin, gorgeous face, I forget his name, Chris maybe. Hi, I'm your nurse, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'm getting along with him, giving him all the info, telling the story, we're talking about Dunkin' Donuts, everything's good. And he says, okay, so apparently because I'm not allowed to swallow anything until I pass the swallow test, he says, I have to give you a baby aspirin. He says, but unfortunately, I have to do it anally. And I'm like, fuck. Oh, I gotta have a good-looking guy doing this. Can't you send him somebody else? So after I got over my little tiff about it, it's like, hey, look, these guys see asses and boobs all day long. They're not even concerned. And, why tie the guy up with my complaints about it? So it was hot. It was painless. But I thought that was a funny story because after he left, the next guy that came in after him was even more gorgeous, my nurse. I don't remember his name either, but he walked in and I looked at my sister Jen and I'm like, look at this. so, and it reminded me of the story, and I told him when I first got the first colonoscopy I ever got, they wheeled me into the room, and who's standing there with these two doctors who were like models, gorgeous, and I'm like, Anyway, it's just like good-looking guys sticking a hose up your butt. It's not something you really think about very often. But anyway, I just want you to know I'm on the mend. I'm doing everything right. Here's the story, chapter 1, and we'll see how it's going. Thanks.